Harry manipulated public opinion to return as a potential royal. Prince Harry was forced by Meghan Markle to perform at an event in LA. Prince William is concerned that Catherine's health is deteriorating. This is the main content of today's newsletter, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So how can we remind the good people of Britain that Prince Harry is still a potential royal, and according to decorum, they better treat him as such? They better be more respectful and speak better of him and his unimpinged self-determination. Don't worry, my friends, I haven't lost my mind. Harry is not a potential royal. He is a member of the royal family. I mean, that can't be changed, but don't worry, I don't think you should speak better of him. Because, just to remind you in case you forgot, Harry chose to walk away from everything royal because he wanted to live like a commoner. He didn't want to have to deal with any of those pesky royal responsibilities. So, in doing so, he turned his back on not only his family but also his country. And then he proceeded to trash and attack his family and his country on Oprah, in his stupid book Spare, and in all these publicity appearances too. Harry has also proven beyond the shadow of a doubt that he can't keep a secret very well. I mean, within 24 hours of private phone calls made to his brother and his father, Gayle King was already announcing what they talked about on her TV show. So obviously, Harry cannot be trusted. Whether or not Harry wants to return to the royal fold doesn't really matter because he can never be welcomed by the family, and he's never going to be able to be treated like a real family member again. Even if Harry were to apologize for everything he said about his father, his brother, his grandmother, his grandfather, and all the rest, he can never undo what has already been done. So sure, Harry is a bit of a pariah now, and it will probably always be like that. He's free to come back to the UK, nobody's stopping him, but royal life is a different story altogether. And it doesn't really matter what the royals think, the British public would never put up with that. Harry chose his life. He had a full year to make up his mind and decide whether he wanted to go back to royal life or not, and he chose to stay in the US with Meghan. So now that is his life, however lonely, however boring, however uncomfortable it may be. It's his choice, and he's the one who has to face himself in the mirror, knowing that he only has himself to blame. But, he's never going to take responsibility for everything he has said. Because what about the extra sausage that Willie got? I mean, that was really traumatic for Harry. I don't think there's anybody out there who could be expected to come back from something like that. But see, Harry's different, don't you know? He's tough, and he's never going to be ashamed of being a complete a-hole. Seems like Harry doesn't even realize that he is the one to blame. The problem is neither Harry nor Meghan seem to understand that actually problems can be because of them. They can accept blame. To them, it's always somebody else's fault. And I guess he's just going to tell himself that he only had one choice, and that was to leave. And that was the royal family's fault because they didn't give Meghan everything she wanted. Let's think about Harry's great-great-uncle David, though. Well, he was basically kicked out of the country, and he had to go live in exile with his twice-divorced American wife. Harry has done so much worse than David ever did. Harry has done so much damage, and he can never be forgiven. It doesn't matter whether he moves back to the UK with or without Meghan Markle and the invisible children. There is still something funny about this whole saga, though. I mean, Harry is still insisting on using that title as though it means something. So in the beginning, after he and Meghan moved, or maybe it was before, he started telling everybody he was just Harry. Well, that didn't get him anywhere, so now he's gone back to being Prince. And when he thinks he can get away with it, he insists on the HRH too. I don't know about you all, though. Maybe I'm just really disrespectful, but if I were to meet Harry, I wouldn't show him any respect, and I certainly wouldn't address him using a title. I mean, Harry's going to have to outlive William's 3 children to ascend to the throne, and I don't believe that could ever happen. Even if it somehow were to happen, the people of Britain would not put up with that. Because just look at him. He is a piss-poor example of royalty, isn't he? He's a traitor, he's a liar, he's deceitful, and he's really creepy, too. And eventually, he's going to die as Prince Harry, but the royal family and the British people will never accept him back. And on some level, it is sad when we think about his late mother, Diana, Princess of Wales. I'm sure she would be broken up to see him like this. He should be ashamed of himself, but he's not. And we know he's not because he's still with Meghan Markle, that insane narcissistic witch. And what about the 2 invisible children, too? We're still not hearing the truth about them. Now, when you make your bed, you do have to lie in it. So sad for Harry. Not. Because what has Harry done to deserve respect from anybody? I mean, Harry and Meghan are abusers. Ever since they met, Meghan Markle has been dripping poison into his ears, and she's been filling his head with all kinds of lies and false promises. Harry is a very weak man, and she keeps on playing this game with him. Now, with today's laws, nobody can really help him if he doesn't want help, but the problem is he doesn't seem to want it. Meghan needs to be in prison, though. I mean, she is dangerous to everybody. Harry also doesn't have any respect for his grandmother, his grandfather, his brother, his country, his father, the people of the UK. So, do I have anything good to say about him? No, I don't. Harry's somebody who doesn't have so much respect for boundaries. When he sees a line, he's going to cross it. And I really don't think that Harry has ever been held in very high regard by people. He's not smart, he doesn't have any real talents, he doesn't have any honorable characteristics like leadership skills that would make him stand out from the crowd. If Harry were just a normal person, he never would have gotten into Eton or Sandhurst. And I think the royal family knows all about Harry's limitations and his mental instability, and they were trying to find him a productive role in society and in life. Now, he did do some good work with Invictus at one point in time, and he did some good work for the mental health charity that he and Catherine and William worked for. And he does or did support rugby union, but still, in the army, no, not impressive at all. The fact is, he was never in any danger. The Queen just let Harry play a game and act like he was a soldier, like a little kid playing dress up. And most of his bad behavior has been hidden by the royal family, swept under the rug. And the result of this is exactly what we see in front of us today. All right, next up, Prince Harry was forced to act by Meghan Markle at an LA event. Bitter truth about Harry and Meghan's relationship is being laid bare now, folks. So Prince Harry's latest appearance at an LA event has given birth to questions about exactly what his future is with Meghan Markle, because apparently he was putting on an act in front of the cameras. So Harry has tried to explain what it is he wants and where his future is headed. Quote, Meghan and Harry's recent publicity has suggested the Duke and Duchess of Sussex's relationship is under strain, and this will have determined the couple to make a public demonstration of their love for each other and the strength of their marriage. This is coming from Tom Quinn, who spoke with the Mirror. According to this expert, Harry and Meghan put on a very forced display of affection at the exhibition in LA, and apparently their body language was telling us that they're not really comfortable with each other. Quote, many of us thought Meghan looked as if she was still acting in Suits, and Harry always looks really uncomfortable with public hugs. So it seems like Tom is trying to explain why Harry is putting on this fake display of affection. He said, Harry is in the most difficult position because he gave up being a working royal for this romance, and if the romance fails, he has nothing else. Meghan knows how to use her acting skills to make a brand work. Harry hasn't a clue. He only knows how to be a royal, and he gave that up. All right, folks, and that brings us to the last item on our agenda, Catherine and William. So unfortunately, reportedly, Prince William is really worried about Catherine's health. He's worried that it could deteriorate. And so he's said to be under a lot of stress before Harry's visit to the UK in May, because he's also worried that Harry and Meghan's new little stunt could add to Catherine's stress, and she's already battling cancer. Dealing with those two is the last thing she needs. A royal insider has claimed the Prince of Wales would breathe a sigh of relief if the Duke and Duchess of Sussex publicly say good words about Catherine at her difficult time. William is very much concerned about his wife's health. The source went on to say the future queen could take stress if the Sussexes reprove their past mistakes. And this is coming in the middle of these reports that Harry is going to travel to the UK to mark this 10th anniversary of Invictus in the UK. But royal experts are saying that Meghan Markle is probably not going to join him. In a conversation with The Sun, royal commentator Richard Fitzwilliams has said, if Meghan didn't want to come, she could never be forced to. It would be extremely unlikely Harry would come over with the kids without Meghan. On the other hand, though, royal correspondent for GB News Cameron Walker gave an update on Catherine's health, saying, quote, she may attend certain events in the near future, which is exciting. But in terms of coming back to public duties full-time and being a full-time working royal, I don't believe that's going to happen anytime soon, which is fine. She needs to rest and recuperate. The royal correspondent went on to say, but maybe we'll see her at some point this summer. It just depends on how her treatment goes. And there were also reports that Catherine was asking Harry and Meghan to bring their invisible children along when they called her to ask about her health. In the past, royal biographer Angela Levin claimed that Meghan's expected UK visit could possibly overshadow Catherine's return to royal duties because it may just so happen to coincide with Catherine's recovery. Well, folks, those are the main events that I had to report to you in today's news. Thank you for your interest and thank you for watching the whole video. What do you think about these topics? Please let us know below in the comments section. And don't forget to support us by liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. Goodbye for now, and I'll be back to see you again soon in other interesting videos on my YouTube channel.